and welcome back to another video. And this movie, and we're gonna do Avatar: The Last Airbender.
But the show was good.
No, I'm talking about the Shyamalan version.
What Shyamalan version?
This movie.
They made a movie?
Yes, and it was god awful.
When did they make a movie?
Since 2010.
When did they do that in 2010? It's either the movie was just so bad and I just completely forgot about it, or no, it's either just that.
Yep. Do you want to give give your thoughts about this?
It's shit.
Yeah.
It's an absolute shit movie.
It is. It's garbage.
It's a horrible adaptation. It doesn't work. Not only is it a horrible adaptation, it doesn't work as a movie. It doesn't work as a story. Things don't make sense. The acting is horrible. The directing is boring. And like it's so weird. It's like a fun and light-hearted show, which we literally just binge watched and just reviewed every single episode. And like, this is like the best that you could come up with. You have source material to work with, so why not just work with it?
It's because of Shyamalan. He just took the script and it's like, oh, we're gonna miss it. I'm gonna add plot twists in it.
Yeah. I know how you feel about it.
When I first saw this movie, I was a bit naive. I thought, oh, this movie cannot be bad. I regret it for the rest of my life. That it was god awful.
It is a pretty bad movie. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know the actors very much. I think the best actors were probably Iroh and Zuko.
Even though they couldn't get Zuko's scar right.
Yeah, they didn't get Zuko's scar right. Not only that, but they didn't really get. I don't really want to be mean about, whitewashing or something, but I mean, why did they change the Fire Nations from Chinese to was it Chinese?
Yeah, Chinese or Japanese.
Yeah.
It's a mix. The whole world was a mixture between the Chinese and Japanese.
Yeah. Sort of like that with Indian. I don't really get. I mean, I don't want to be too harsh, considering that an Indian person directed this, but it's a little bit like an odd change. It's a bit of an odd thing to like change. But I did think those two did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a couple of good shots here and there.
Yeah.
But it's just so boring.
Yeah, and the one thing that annoys me is they cannot pronounce the people's names right.
No, they couldn't.
Iroh, it's Iroh, you idiots! Ang, it's supposed to be Ang.
Zuka.
It's Sokka! Sokka!
They got Boston State right.
Yeah, they got the names of the towns right, but not like the name of the characters. So
thing is, like, Shyamalan isn't really particularly good at, we can kind of see this from, like, his earlier movies to, like, present day movies, that Shyamalan isn't really particularly good at, like, doing stuff for, like, a big budget. You look at, like, a movie like After Earth, and, you can clearly see that, he doesn't know how to, like, direct a movie on his standards. But if you look at a movie like The Happening or Unbreakable, or even, like, some of his earlier movies like Split, like, he clearly had an idea about it. I mean, I know a couple of my mates who don't really like the movie Split because it's not really a particularly good representation of people who have that disorder. But, I don't know, I feel like it's probably just best to, like, I feel like it's probably best to, just kind of expound your disbelief in order to enjoy a movie. But, I mean, I enjoyed Split for what it is. I thought it was a good movie. So Shyamalan does have some good work on his shoulders, but when he's pressurized to do something like this, when he's really pressurized, it turns out really shit. That's one of the reasons why I guess that's one of the reasons why Glass, his movie that came out this year, didn't work, because people were actually really looking forward to this movie, and you just kind of got pressurized to do it, and yeah. I mean, I don't think that's the only reason, but
The only Shyamalan's movies I saw was The Last Airbender and After Earth that I've been forced to in my class. By Gamma X Deadly. He was the one that recommended it, and I was like,
let it go.
Fine.
Let it go. Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, it's like this movie is like totally his fault. Like, he doesn't really, like, I don't know how, like, Nickelodeon gave, like, you know, especially when the movies that he has under his belt, like The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, The Happening, and Sign, and Smacking with Others. I don't know how Nickelodeon thought this guy's the best guy to bring our most beloved and one of the best TV shows that we produced to the big screen, and make it a real life movie as well. Make it live action. I don't know how like they managed to get him, because I would imagine someone who's a little bit more fun as a director, like someone like James Gunn or Taika Waititi. Someone like those
I was
guys.
thinking Peter Jackson, because he's very good at doing direction when, like, what he did with the Lord of the Rings movie. He can make a good visual setting.
Yeah, he's good at visuals, but I don't really. But the thing is, I don't really think I would expect someone who's a little bit more fun as a director. That's why I would probably go with like James Gunn or Taika Waititi, because they're quite fun directors. They don't really mind going too silly, as we've seen with Taika Waititi. We've seen from What We Do in the Shadows, Boyhood, for Ragnarok, and hopefully with his new film Jojo Rabbit, which looks hilarious. Hopefully we will actually see him do more with this material. That's why I would kind of go for it. And James Gunn, I mean, we all know James Gunn, you know, director of Guardians of the Galaxy. I would just think of someone who's a little bit more, you know, silly. A little bit more of a, like, you know, a director who is a little bit more fun, is a little bit more, you know, has a little bit like an imagination like a child.
And doesn't want to use plot twist all the time.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, this could work. An Avatar Last Event, an Avatar Last Event.
Yeah, they are actually working on a new live action.
Yeah, but that's a
Avatar, but
yeah, but that's a Netflix series though.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that,
which is not a bad idea.
They got the original creators who do the Netflix.
Yeah,
one,
yeah. I mean,
there is hope.
There's hope. Yeah, there is hope. I mean, yeah, so there is a bit of hope to have the original creators, and really, I think they should have had at least like some kind of input in this. I imagine they must be really disappointed with this movie.
I think they did. I don't know if they actually did comment on the movie or something.
They probably would have.
Yeah.
I mean, they worked their asses off in the show, and you see this, and you're like, well, no.
Anyway, there's one scene that I'm so mad. It's the Fire Nation prison camp.
Oh, is that the Earthbending camp?
Yeah, the Earthbending
because
camp.
I don't really like comparing stuff to like the predecessors of the show, but like in the show, like it was on a metal ship.
Yeah.
Where like none of the Fire Nations could, like none of the Earthbenders could bend anything. It's like everything's surrounded by metal, so their spirits break. With this one, they're just in a prison where there's rocks all over the place. There's trees all over the place. It doesn't even look like a prison. It just looks like, you know,
a small village.
Yeah, it just looks like a small village. Like it doesn't really look like a prison. It's like, wow, like you guys can actually fight these guys off, and why haven't you?
We're just too lazy.
I had a feeling that the actor, when he gives like a big speech, I have a feeling that's probably just the actor just improvising, because he was so sick of Shyamalan's direction. He was like, oh, I'm just gonna improvise this because this is stupid, mate.
Yeah. Oh god, this movie's so bad.
It is. It's horrible. It's horrible.
I'd literally scream in a pillow.
Yeah. What more can we really say? It's like, I mean,
General Zhao's death was disappointing.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who was those 4 waterbenders? It feels like they had their own spin-off show.
Yeah.
The Mighty Morphin Power Waterbenders.
And also, like, I mean, there was a couple of, like, you know, extras which were kind of off-putting. Like I mentioned that, you know, there was, like, this woman who was, like, sweeping a broom.
Yeah.
And apparently she was just sweeping the air. It looked so silly. It was ridiculous. Yeah, but... And also, like, there were, like, it was just... Wow, I mean, this movie was just so
Well,
bad.
the actors' acting was so bland.
Yeah.
They just need to talk like this all the time.
Entertainment. I just think Shyamalan was just the wrong choice to do this. He was the wrong choice to direct this. If they want to reboot it as a movie, you know, I would have no problems with it.
Mm-hmm.
But at least just get, like, the right people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, you can work with kid actors, you can have kid actors, you can get them to do all the silly things. And I feel like if, you know, done right, it can be really enjoyable. And if you get the right people behind the scenes, then you could produce a good content. But with this one, like, Shyamalan pretty much wrote, produced, and directed everything. So he pretty much did everything in this project. And that's fine on, like, a lower budget movie. But on this, you should probably have a little bit more support for, like, you know, a big, large studio like this.
I'm just glad there's not a sequel coming out because I'm just glad they're not making a sequel.
No, like, yeah, so I think that's just to do with, like, the disappointments of the movie. Like, everyone was disappointed with this movie. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's a bad movie. I don't really know what else I could say. Like, most of the things that I pretty much would say, like, has already been covered in that Nostalgia Critic episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Review.
Yeah, his review of The Last Airbender. I mean, he pretty much pointed out the flaws flawlessly. He pretty much pointed out everything flawlessly. So, I mean, pretty much my flaws are pretty much the same as his flaws anyway.
So, do you want to, should we finish it now?
Was there anything else you want to add on?
No.
No? Okay.
So what do you think of this movie? Do you hate it? Do you definitely hated it? Leave the comments down below and subscribe. And we'll see you next time in the season 2 of Avatar: The Legend of Aang. The proper one.
We just directed a better Avatar: Last Airbender than Shyamalan did. And we were sitting down on our asses!